Well, that was quite a good bonus for the afternoon, so I'll bid that site farewell, and I walked past it last year or the year before when I did some filming, totally incognizant of its general existence. So you never know if you never ever go, if you never ever try, if you never ever seek. But yeah. Yeah, I'm always looking, you never know what you might find. But it was interesting to see that what looked like natural dolomite limestone, you know, calcium magnesium carbonate sitting there, and they seem to be growing quite happily around it. I mean, there is this sort of like, you know, enigma or conundrum about, you know, that some CPs are actually grow on calcium. You know, well, surely that doesn't imply that there is some link between all CPs, you know. So anyway, hopefully we'll crack it fairly shortly. I'm getting close, getting awfully close to finding out what it is. Then hopefully we have to double the size of Capensis very easily, and so its natural standard size will be twice what it is at the moment for the rest of the time. You know, everyone who grows them in the greenhouse, they'll just naturally be twice that size. And other people, probably if they've got the right conditions, will grow them a little bit bigger, but most people will actually grow them to twice whatever they are is the natural size now. About a foot, isn't it? So maybe we can grow a Capensis to 2 feet on average standard size. Wouldn't that be amazing? Now, this is one of these reservoir pond things I was talking about. Sort of like those red rosetti thingies that Paul Temple talks about, isn't it? One of these pond thingies. Yeah. Hopefully Paul will get a kick out of that up in the Dominican Republic, or down in the Dominican Republic from where you're sitting at your computer screen watching all this. But as you can see, I'm always inspired by something like this, because you never know what could take root or foot on the edge of one of these things. I might just go along there, because look how wet that damp edge is, and that could last. And you could get a bird that could drop a piece of Utric in here and it could take off like wildfire. So I'm always interested in these ponds up there. There's about 3 or 4 of them from memory. I walked up here a few years ago. I think I went up there when I first got the new camera sort of thing. But unfortunately, as I said, it's only an f8 camera. It just hasn't got the guts to do the tentacle heads. You know, I tried getting close-up lens, even that didn't work. It just hasn't got the guts. So it's okay to blame your tools when your tools haven't got the guts. You know, they just can't do it. You know, it's not my fault, and it's not the camera's fault. It's just not built to. It needs another level or another step of reciprocity to actually get those tentacle heads in clarity towards the edges of the image. So here we go. Oh, look, we've got some Pygamea growing. That's always a good sign. Now this takes on spectacular colours towards the end of autumn, sort of like a purpley brown. But it's sort of it would be very dangerous to come back here in so-called autumn, you know, end of the dry, because of snakes and things. You'd have to really gear up, and you'd have to take it really slowly. You know, gear 0.5 to get through here, to get to here. Is it really worth it? I don't know. Here's another one up here. As you can see, I hope this is picking up. I've got the wide angle lens on, but I really want to go down to that one there, and there might be something on the edge there. You know, could be a pygmy species I couldn't even see from the other side because it's so small. I mean, we do have the smallest sundew in the world, don't we, in Australia? That's one of those occidentalis forms, the one with all the every other tentacle that's knocked out. Have you seen that one? We used to have that in the society back in my carnivorous plant society back in the early days, and it was amazing. I loved it. It was basically became my personal favourite beyond Pygamea. It was like a smaller version of Pygamea, but every other tentacle was knocked out. So you had like a tentacle of space, a tentacle of space, a tentacle of space, all the way around the cup-shaped trap. So now with all our new knowledge about you know, ribbon tentacles and snap heads and things like that, someone ought to go back and look at that one, I would say. I mean, why does it have every other tentacle knocked out? Is there a reason for that? Does it have big prey coming in, so it has to have space for the big prey to come in? You know, big in, what I'm saying, big prey in relative size to the trap, I mean, and the plant. So has it got a particular, you know, target prey species sort of thing that it goes after? Oh, that's a dog. No, it's a dog, so it wasn't a kangaroo. But you know, I just like all these swampy areas and just looking at, I mean, I could spend the rest of my life just walking around looking at things like this and I'd be happy, you know what I mean? That's the kind of person I am. I like the simple things in life, you know? I notice things that other people don't notice, so that's why I enjoy simple things, because I get to see things in the simple things that other people just don't get to see. They just walk on by and miss out on all these wonders that are just sitting there under their noses, basically. So I've noticed the way that has changed from that orange colour to this sort of colour, and there's a bit of green. So I've noticed that change. I don't know if you've noticed that. I don't know if the camera's actually picking it up when it's good enough to pick up that change, but I can see the change there. Probably between this outfall area, which probably stays quite wet compared to the rest of it as we go through the season. So, you know, it's probably that's doing it. And there's a lot of algae too here. Probably having some sort of action on the actual surface of the soil there. But anyway, I think it just looks nice. Pity you can't see it in 3D. And pity we didn't find anything on the edge. But, you know, we could always put something on the edge. You know, a local species that's native to this area. If we're having trouble and something's rare and dying out, we can always try putting it on the edge here and see what happens. Wouldn't it be nice to see that carpeted in a nice band of red due to like mountain bold reds or something like that? When we can work on it. It'd take a few years, I reckon. I reckon it'll take 4 or 5 seasons. The first season we wouldn't even see them, and slowly, you know, 4 or 5 seasons later, you keep taking the jemmy further and further down, and yeah, I reckon you could work on it like that. Anyway, that's an idea. Just putting it out there. See ya.